Countless lives have been touched by the work of God in this building. Let's pause to reflect on some whose lives have been forever changed within these walls.
My name is Dinah Quackenbush, and I've been coming here for 27 years. Sitting here in this building, it's brought back so many memories, just working in the kitchen from day one. I've peeled more potatoes in this kitchen than any in my whole life. We've had ladies' retreats with this whole building look like the inside of a castle. We've had the men's Soldiers of the Cross meetings, and I remember serving in that, and this whole room was filled with men who wanted to rededicate their life to Christ. What I like about this course that we've been on the last few years is the emphasis on community, getting to know one another, being there for one another, as you would your own family. We have Christ, and that just engulfs so much. I mean, as soon as you find out that someone's a Christian, it just brings you together in a way that no earthly relationship does. That spirit of community has grown so much in the last few years here at Liberty. And I'm just really glad to be part of it. I'm super excited that I'm allowed the opportunity and the honor to lead a connection group for ladies, to lead a Bible study, to just lead discipleship. I mean, that's just awesome.
My name is Leighton Matthews, and I've been attending Newport Christian School for 8 years. My first experience in the community center was some of the early elementary chapels where we got to sing a lot of songs and learn a lot of lessons at a very young age. And we've also done Spanish classes where we learned some of the basics of Spanish, and now I'm in the robotics elective where we get to kind of build a base of engineering. Something that's been kind of clear at NCS and has made a lasting impact is like seeing how diligent the teachers are and like how dedicated they are to making our lives better and have us learn and prepare us for the future. Some of the valuable lessons I've learned at NCS are to never give up, and whatever task you have, do it with all your heart.
My name is Christine Harder, and I have taught at NCS for 6 years, and I have been working at our summer camp program as the co-director for 5 years now. Karen and I both came from camp backgrounds, working at schools or other Christian camps, and so we were really excited to start this program here at NCS. We started off in the boardwalk, and we quickly outgrew that, I think, within the first year. And then we moved over to the community center, which allows us to have a bigger meeting space, and then also 2 classrooms that we use for different activities. Our motivation for starting this program and continuing it is to reach the community around us for Christ and to give the kids an active learning environment, someplace outside of school that they can come to and just enjoy the community and the friends that they have. I remember one day in particular that Pastor Jay came in to preach in one of our Tuesday chapels, and he preached a pretty simple salvation message, and he spent about 20 minutes talking to the kids. And by the end of that chapel session, we had maybe 15 to 20 kids that wanted to come talk to counselors about salvation or about decisions. And I just remember by the end of that day, Karen and I counting up the kids that had accepted Jesus as their savior, and we had 8 kids in that one day accept Christ. And I think that is the goal. Like, that is the reason that we have camp, and that is our ultimate priority, is exposing these kids to the love of Christ and just hoping and praying and walking them through Jesus' love and praying that they accept him as their savior.
My name's Kamal Benitez. I've been coming to the Spanish ministry since 7th grade, and I've been coming to NCIS since 9th grade. My mom and my grandparents and all my family, ever since we lived in Mexico, and I've always heard about it, and I understood, oh, there's this person named God. I was just never really clear with that. I was just okay, there's someone, I guess I believe in him, I'm not sure. And then as I came here and I started hearing about all these messages and stuff, I was okay, maybe there's more to this than just oh, this is just a religion, you know? And so I got saved during a biology class. Well, since I started coming here, I feel like chapels have always been engaging. I just feel like chapels are really amazing, and we have great preachers, Pastor Thompson, Pastor Sammy, just really amazing people that love God. And most importantly for me, what's different is now I know who God is. He's alive. We worship a living God who loves, takes care of his people, you know? And I feel like that's the main core of this school/church. It's embody Christ, and then it's school, academics, sports. I think it's just a great place overall and just amazing people.
We're so excited about the expansion happening in the community center and the missionary apartments, mostly because we've seen what a huge impact it can have. At the end of last year, we spent about 3 months, we were transitioning from working full-time to preparing to go to deputation full-time. And the ability to spend that time in the missionary apartment was a massive answer to prayer for us.
Yeah, we prayed for a couple of different, what we saw as obstacles going forward into deputation and into Hong Kong. And one by one, God knocked them down. And the missions apartment was a huge part of that for us.
We're excited to see God continue to expand the impact that Liberty is having in the community center and in the missionary apartments for God's honor and His glory.
My name is Brad Scoggin, and we have been at NCS for almost 2 years now, and at the church for just over a year. So we were moving back to California a few years ago, and had heard about NCS, and so I looked at the website, prayed about it, called, and I think probably talked to Joanne, and we signed up. And so our first day on campus was the first day of school in 2022. And like everybody else who comes to NCS, we were just blown away by the community. I don't think we actually came to Liberty until Easter of last year. That was our first service. And we'd have several friends at the school say, hey, you gotta come check it out. But our first time at the church was Easter of last year. And I think that's when we committed to start let's try this out. Let's start attending regularly. And it was the fall, so last fall was when we first started going to a community group, and it was Pastor Ryan's parenting group. And at that point we said, okay, we really want to commit to this. And for us, we've got 5 kids, so always looking for some help on how to do a better job with our kids and our parenting. And ages 2 to 10 feels like a widespread. There's very different needs in there, and so we were very interested to hear from Ryan, who's got 5 kids. He's got 2 that have graduated. He's further along than us, and we have not been disappointed. I mean, the practical wisdom that he drops on a weekly basis is like gold, and it's been very influential for us in how we think about parenting, how we actually do parent on a daily, weekly basis. So I think one of the most impactful things for me personally with the community group was probably 3 or 4 weeks in. We're sitting in the room around a big table, and there's 20 or 25 couples, and I look around the room and I know every couple in the room. And it kind of seemed like, wow, I know all these people. I see most of these people at drop off, at pick up. I see a lot of them on Sunday morning, I see a lot of them at sporting events outside of school. And it was just kind of this, wow, like this is my community. Like, this is what we've been looking for, a group of like-minded people who are intentional about becoming better parents, and that we're just doing life together.
My name is Krista Kilpatrick. This is my 3rd year here at NCS. Every year we have Seedline, which I always love to say is the most wonderful time of the year. It's just this awesome project where, just the idea that the Bibles I'm putting together are going out to introduce other people to God, and I'm indirectly helping with that is so cool to me. At NCS, I've had some opportunities in spiritual growth, just because there's also the youth group here, which all my classmates are a part of, so it gives me this unique opportunity to have fellowship with my classmates, both inside and technically outside of school hours, and I think that's pretty cool. And then also, I've just had so many teachers just be there for me and pray with me, and I've seen them pray with other students. I've had other students pray with me and for me. God is just here. God is here. And this school has really shown me what it means to be a part of the body of Christ, and to really come alongside each other and uplift each other and support each other in the Lord.
My name is Sammy Roberson, and I came to Liberty Baptist Church in the year of 2016, and the Lord called us here to take over the Spanish ministry. And at that time, the Spanish ministry was without a leader for about 5 months or so. And so at that time, Pastor Thompson, which was my college basketball coach 20 years ago, he gave me a call and said, the Lord has called me and my family to come to Liberty, and one of the first people I thought of was you. And so at that time, unbeknownst to him, I've been praying for what the Lord had for me and my family. And man, to come back to sunny California, and to come back to a place that needed help and the people were hurting, I believe that it was God's will for my life. The Spanish ministry, when we got here, was divided. There was probably an attendance of 30, 35 or so. And I believe today, probably there's an attendance of about 120. But more than the numerical growth of the Spanish ministry, we've seen the Lord do some tremendous spiritual growth in the lives of those that have stayed and also in the lives of those that have been added to the church. And I always tell the people, I said, now God has brought his spirit. And so the most important thing about the community center is the fact that God's presence is here. But I also am cognizant that sometimes somebody from the community can come and they will feel out of place because the building is vastly outdated. I believe that the remodel is going to bring a part of revival that we have not seen yet in our Spanish ministry. And so we've seen revival in regards to marriages that were once broken, God has mended. We've seen revival in people being saved and added to the church. We've seen revival of spiritual growth. But I believe wholeheartedly that we will see a revival of excitement. In other words, I'm going to invite you to come to my church. And yes, by God's grace, the preaching is going to be biblical. We're going to have a Christ-centered atmosphere. The singing is going to be great. But I want you to come and sit down in this newly remodeled place where the seats are new, the walls have been painted, the light is right, the screens are right, the sound is right. We're able to see the Lord without it being a distraction. Oh, look, the tile's broken. Oh, look, that light's flickering. Oh, look, the microphone went out. And now, instead of those things being an obstacle to get people the gospel, now they're a tool. They're a vein by which people can say, man, it's an exciting place and there's no more distraction. So I believe that revival of excitement, of bringing people to a place that is beautiful. But like I said, it's not just the building, it's what's going on inside of the building that's excited. But now the building's not going to be an obstacle. It won't be a distraction. So I'm excited about that. There's been countless lives that have been touched in our Spanish ministry. People that have been saved, baptized, discipled, and bringing others to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. But I believe that one of the highlights of the lives that have been changed in our Spanish ministry is a man by the name of Jose Manuel Tapia. And you're gonna hear Jose's story on how he was lost, on how he was rooted in false religion, and how he's gonna mention on how he would never change, and the power of the gospel changed Jose and his family.
Pues yo crecí en la iglesia católica, toda mi familia es católica. Desde muy chiquito yo servía a las iglesias católicas, entonces para mí no había otra religión más que ser católico. Cuando me doy cuenta que mi mujer Lupe era cristiana, no tuve inconveniencia de nada que ella fuera cristiana, simplemente que no estábamos de acuerdo ambos. Yo católico, ella cristiana. No era para que estuviéramos juntos, sino que teníamos conflictos a través de eso. Pero la vida seguía igual, pues decidimos, de hecho, alejarnos de la iglesia y ser parte de nuestras vidas, pero nada de eso funciona así. Entonces, a través del tiempo, ella conoció a alguien que se acercó a la iglesia y me dijo a mí un día, pues, que iba a la iglesia. Dije, pues, por mí, que está bien que vaya, pues, no me perjudica nada, pues. Pero yo no voy a ir, pues, porque yo soy católico. De hecho, una vez le dije a ella, no sé si la obligué o le dije, pues, que íbamos a bautizar a nuestros hijos en la iglesia católica. Y así fue, los bautizamos en la iglesia católica. Entonces, a través del tiempo ella se fue metiendo más a la iglesia. Pues yo me fui alejando más, tuvimos más problemas. Entre más ella se metía, más problemas había. No sé por qué sería, pero algo grande iba a pasar, ¿va? Tuvimos muchos problemas, peleábamos bastantes, yo tomaba bastante. Un día me dijo que si quería ir a la iglesia porque los niños iban a cantar. No quise ir. Ya me invitaban que mis niños iban a cantar. Yo nomás lo que hacía es venir nomás cuando ellos iban a cantar y me iba o me esperaba en el carro. Ella ansiosa de que yo me bajara con ella, pero no era lo mío, pues estar aquí no era lo mío, no me sentía incómodo. Justamente no quería estar aquí. Sentía como que todos se me quedaban mirando, como que sentía que iba a traicionar yo algo que desde chiquito me habían inculcado. Entonces me sentía como que estuviera traicionando yo a mi familia o al Dios que yo servía, pues según yo, mis creencias. Entonces, nada de esto resultó. Me acuerdo de aquel día que tocaban 2 hombres a la casa y me di cuenta que era uno que predicaba en la iglesia, que era el pastor Sammy, y el hermano Juanate, que visitaban mi casa. Y yo me molesté mucho porque le dije, Señor, ¿qué estaban haciendo aquí? No nos quería ver aquí, yo les decía. No, dice, no, nada de eso me va a hacer cambiar. Entraron a la casa y yo de coraje pues abrí una cerveza, me la tomé y me sentí como enojado, pues frustrado, pues ¿qué están haciendo aquí? Pero yo me acuerdo que les dije que nada de esto iba a cambiar, que porque yo soy católico, pues yo soy católico y es lo que me inculcaron. Yo no hago que mi señora no vaya a la iglesia, no estoy deteniendo que ella vaya, pero yo no pienso pues ir a esa iglesia cristiana donde ella dicen, pues, porque yo conozco amigos que son cristianos y son lo peor, dice. Entonces, ¿qué me hace pensar a mí que es lo que me va a cambiar a mí? Entonces, mi mente siempre puede decir no. Hasta la fecha, pues, he visto cosas diferentes. Vaya, pues, fue el día que tuvimos problemas con mi mujer. De hecho, ella decidió irse con los hijos. Ya para ese entonces ya todo está derrumbado, ya todo está perdido. Entonces yo le pido una oportunidad más, le digo que todo va a cambiar, pero mentira, yo mi planes era calmarla. Decido venir a la iglesia y escucho un mensaje que me llega a mí de parte de lo que es la familia, las oraciones. Entonces mi mente empieza a cambiar. Mis hijos se preguntan, ¿qué está pasando? ¿Por qué estamos cada día más juntos? Vamos a los parques, comemos como familia. Entonces miro un cambio en nosotros. Entonces ya mi mente empieza a ser diferente. Empiezo a sentir ya emociones en mí, en querer escuchar más, de querer aprender más. O investigado, saber qué me está pasando, porque si antes no éramos así, ahora por qué somos así. Y me doy cuenta que cada vez que leemos la Biblia o escucho la palabra de Dios hay un cambio en mí fuerte. Les digo a mis hijos, hablo con ellos lo que nunca había pasado, porque ellos escuchaban todas las noches gritos, problemas, insultos. Y ahora escuchan todo lo contrario, porque en la casa no escuchan ninguna otra música más que si no es cristiana, no hay música. Biblias por donde quiera. Oramos al momento de salir. Ahí es donde comienza un cambio emocional, espiritual y familiar. Pues más que nada, yo antes decía que estar bien con Dios no hay necesidad de ir a la iglesia. Yo en mi mente decía que estar con Dios podemos estar donde quiera, pero no hay necesidad de ir a la iglesia, y no es así. Tenemos que venir a la iglesia. Al menos yo le digo a mi señora que tenemos que estar nutridos con la palabra de Dios, tenemos que venir. ¿Por qué venir? Porque la carne es débil. Aparte que la carne es débil, el enemigo está enfrente de nosotros. Cualquier otra cosa que pueda pasar es de que en cualquier momento podemos caer. Entonces para mí es muy importante venir porque me fortalece. Me fortalece en cuestión de que me voy bendecido. Tengo Se me hace como si tuviera vitaminas para el resto de la semana, pero no es suficiente, tengo que estar en oración. Yo sé que mis hijos se frustran cuando miran a su papá que se sienta en la mesa. Calman otra vez. Y yo sé que va a haber un beneficio más adelante en la bendición de ellos y la bendición mía. Para mí sí es muy importante asistir a la iglesia. Para mí Cristo es mi Salvador. Es la persona que ha dado todo por mí. Aún sabiendo que yo le he fallado, Él ha estado ahí. Mi Salvador más que nada, mi Redentor. Mi todo por el cual estamos aquí.
These are more than stories. They're testimonies to the power of love, faith, and community. And they are reminders that buildings don't change lives, but what happens in them does.